Nico, hello, how are you?
I'm super. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's nice to finally chat to you.
Finally.
Finally. I know you've been very busy at the moment, right?
A lot of traveling around Europe. So
Yeah, but that's good. That's positive. Good things.
that's, yeah.
Okay, so I think we're going to start from the very beginning and just talk about, how you started out. So I'd love to know where your love for music came from and what were the kind of sounds and what music were you surrounded by when you were younger?
Um, I would say music was always playing since I'm a child, in my house and everywhere. My parents played 90s Italian ballads, and when I started to listen to music, it was hip hop and R&B from the 90s. So it was always a big thing. And yeah, I think this different type of genres helped me to find my sound.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think the more that you have around you, the more influences you get, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
What about making a career out of music? Where did that come from? Did you know from a young age that you wanted to make a career out of music?
No, it's just started as a hobby. So I started to make beats when I was 12. And
12.
yeah, super young.
Wow, that's so young.
Yeah, super young. Because when I was listening to music, I just always wanted to change the beats because I liked it, but I always had a different idea to this. And then I started to discover some forums in the internet, and I just found this program, and I was like, okay, I need to try it. And then I started.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's such a young age. So after that, like what happened? Were you working at something else or what were you doing?
It was always like a hobby, and then I think after like 8 years or something like that, when I was at the in the school in the university, and um, someone called me and told me, "Hey, one of the biggest rappers in Germany jumped on your beat, and he wants to send you to finish the song." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool. Just send over." And then yes, I finished the songs and it became very popular in Germany. And I was like, okay, I think now I should work as a producer because it works super good.
Yeah, I have something here. What were you studying at university though?
Huh?
What were you studying at university?
International management and business. So super dry, super boring.
So nothing to do with music whatsoever.
I think no.
And were you listening to a lot of electronic music at that time?
I know electronic music came super late for me. I was only into music, R&B music and classic music because my parents loved to listen to classic music. And electronic music was like for me always like 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 only bass. And but when I discovered electronic music the first time really like properly, like I took time for it to understand this music. It was like for me like I felt this music, and it
Mm,
was different to the other genres. It was like a new language without words, and this was super nice for me and interesting.
nice. Who was like the first electronic music artist that you listened to or saw perform?
I think the first big electronic artist was it was Black Coffee, 2016 in Ibiza.
Really? In Ibiza?
Yeah,
Wow. So,
he was the biggest DJ at this moment for what I see, what I saw
yeah.
live.
Well, it's a good introduction into electronic music anyway. It
Yeah,
really
sure.
is. So you began your career producing hip hop and pop tracks and obviously have been incredibly successful, but what was it that motivated you to then have that shift to melodic techno with the Belladonna project?
Um, yeah, I worked always like as a producer, and if you work as a producer, you always to compromise yourself, your music, because you work with an artist. And after a few years of working with super good artists and super cool guys, I just wanted to make music without to compromise my music, and it's only possible if you do it by yourself and to do it without someone who's telling you, "I please let's go in this direction or this direction." Even we have the same vision, it's always a compromise, and that's why I just said so. I just started to make music for myself, and at this time I was super into melodic techno. And I said, okay, this is
Mm.
what I feel right now. This is what I want to do. And I just started. And now it's a mix of melodic techno, tech house, hip hop influence, R&B influence sometimes. It's my own world.
That's nice. It's so nice just to be able to do your own thing, I guess, and not have to have somebody or, people telling you what to do. So I guess it's given you a sense of freedom, right?
Exactly. And this is why I started to make music, because I wanted to change something, like freely how I think or how I want this. And when it became a job, a proper like a job, it was like, okay, I need to do something like this, or he wants to do it like this. But yeah, freedom is a big word for me. So I want to find my freedom in music, and that's why I do Belladonna. Because with my project Belladonna, I can do whatever I want in my way.
I love that. I love that. And it's so important, like when you speak to so many artists as well that say, you have to follow your own vision and it's your
Exactly.
sound. So
Exactly.
it's nice that you now have that space to be able to do it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Tell me about the name. Where does the name Belladonna come from?
Um, it's a plant. You know that it's a plant. And but yeah, it was super random. I went in the studio, I just produced some new music for me.
Mm.
And at this time I didn't know that I will do a project as Belladonna. So and I just started to Google some poisonic plants, and then I found Belladonna. And it was the perfect mix of beauty, dangerous, like deadly, and like toxic. It was like, okay, this sound what I did right now it sounds like this, and yeah, I decided to take this. After
Nice.
this, after this name, I was like, okay, I tried some other different names, but this was the only one.
What other names did you try?
No, I cannot.
I like that you came to that moment and you were like, this is the one.
I felt it at this moment, and it's still like this.
I love that. So growing up around like different sounds and styles, do you ever kind of feel torn between them, or do you really feel like now you have just created your space?
To be honest, I used to feel like torn. It was like for me, it was like, okay, I, I was too much at the beginning. I was too much with my head in the industry, because I came from a long career as a producer, and I was like, okay, we need to do this for the market. And I analyzed the market, and I was like, okay, maybe I should do it like this or this. And then I remembered why I started Belladonna, and then I stopped to think about this. And now I found myself. I took, for example, from the hip hop, I took the attitude. From the pop music, I took the structure of the song, and put it together. And now this is the Belladonna sound. So
I love that. So basically, what you've done is you've taken like unique qualities from each genre, and then
exactly,
that's created what your project is today, right?
exactly, yeah. The
Did you
quality, what I like, yeah,
the qualities that you like? Yeah.
yeah.
Did you find it hard from going from, as you said before at the beginning, from working constantly with other people to then all of a sudden doing your own thing by yourself? Did you find that transition hard, or was it just very natural?
It was supernatural.
Mm.
It was like a wish, like a long time wish. So when I started, I felt super free, and I was like, okay, nice. And now it's like I worked. so much on my music. Now I really love to work with other people again, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but in a belladonna way.
In a Belladonna way. I like that, in a Belladonna way. When you're producing your music, what exactly are you chasing? Is it a feeling? Is it a memory? Is it a specific moment, a scene? What is it that comes to mind when you're producing?
I cannot explain what I'm looking for, but I would say it's the feeling.
Mm,
When I start, I always start with an empty project. I don't have like presets, or I don't have like how can I say, um like prepared things, you know? I always
yeah.
start from zero. And when I start, I sometimes I start with the kick, with the bass, sometimes I start with a vocal. It's always different. I'm looking for the moment. So
Mm.
for the vibe, for the moment, yes.
And how do you know when a track's finished? Because I ask this to so many artists. I'm like, how do you know? Are you like, yes, this is it? Or do you give yourself, a specific amount of time to finish a track? How do you know when it's done?
I think this is the most difficult question. For me personally, a track is never finished. So
Really?
yeah, it's super hard for me because, but I would say I realized that when I can feel it when it's like at 90% and and you have to do only 10% for to be it's finished. I realized that after this, you cannot finish it more, you know? You just change it to a different way. So I would say after 90%, this track is good, almost done. And then you can adjust some little things, you know, and then yeah, then it's finished.
When
But for
so
me personally, it's not finished.
it's never finished. That must
No.
just be so ongoing in your head. Like you must have to get to a point where you're like, okay, just leave it now, right?
Yeah. I think this is the experience of my years in the industry. So
Yeah.
yeah, but sometimes I work on a track like 4 hours and I feel it, okay, I think this is almost done. But sometimes I work 2 weeks or 3 weeks on a song and it's I say, no, it's not done. We cannot release it like this. Not possible.
If you're working on an idea, say for example, you're working and you're working and 2 weeks and 3 weeks go by, do you ever get to a point where you think, I'm going to forget about this idea and I'm going to move on to something else, or do you just carry on working?
This is sometimes I worked on a whole project and after 4 months I said, no, just delete it. Let's start again.
Really?
Sure.
Then do you ever like leave them and then years on you look back on them like in the future?
Yeah, sometimes I leave it like this and I get back like in 1 month later to hear it again. But yeah, I think if you do the right songs, you feel it immediately.
Yeah, definitely. Do you ever imagine like specific like visual scenes or narratives while you're producing?
Yeah, I think every song is for me like a movie scene.
Yeah.
And if you, I think I will send you some names of the songs I made. It's super. It's always like a movie scene, 3 a.m. in New York, in the club or whatever. And yeah, it's always like when I do music, I always think about a scene in a different place.
Where how do you decide what the name of the track's going to be? Like 3 a.m. in New York.
It's a sound. It's
Yeah.
always a sound.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your track Where I'm From, which was the Cassian and Script, and that obviously gained so much attention before it was released. Tell us a little bit about the process of collaborating, and yeah, did you anticipate that it was going to have that impact?
Um, no, not like this. When we started to work on the song, it was like it was just a vibe, just the energy.
Mm,
We just wanted to create a good song, a super nice song, and yeah, it was. I never expected that the people love this song like this. For me, it's always when I do my mu when I do music, or I think I can talk for everyone right now, for every producer. When we produce music at this moment, this is the best song in the world.
yeah,
And yeah, but when people see this as the same weight, and it's super nice for us. So
yeah. It's amazing. And how did you choose to collaborate with them? And how do you choose who to collaborate with in general?
so I would say I'm not looking for numbers or opportunities. I when the people can bring something good on the table, I want to work with them. It doesn't matter how these numbers are, you know. And yeah, I was super lucky that I worked with Script and Cassian started to mix the song, and then he heard the song and he was like, okay, I need to jump on the song because I love it and I have some big ideas on it. And then he jumped on the song and the quality of the song is yeah, you can hear
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Were you friends with them before?
No, no, with Script, with Cassian it came later.
Nice. Is it different working with somebody that you know and somebody you don't know?
Yeah, sure. Because I always want to work with people that I have like a personal relationship,
Mm,
but sometimes yeah, you need the same vision,
yeah.
you know.
Totes.
And he had it, and it was super nice.
How long were you working on the track for?
Um, I think I started the idea like the first idea it was ready after two hours, something like that.
What?
And then yeah, I sent it over to Script. He did some good things, and then he sent it back. And then yeah, I think in total, I don't know.
Not much at all. That's crazy. So, being multilingual and multicultural, how do your personal roots and global experiences find their way into your music?
I would say everything inspires me, and I try to get the inspiration of all the of in my environment, of my culture, of everything, of the places I travel,
Mm.
and I always try to take this inspiration back to my world. And yeah, I feel like when I come home and I'm in my studio in my own spaceship, and then yeah, I get advantage of it, of my inspiration, and do.
Mm. When you get back to your studio from traveling around the world, do you like sit back and think about where you've been and, the people that you've met and places you've seen? Or is it like an ongoing project that, kind of just all comes together at the end?
Um, I don't sit there and think about it, but yeah, it comes automatically. So when I'm in Miami for 2 weeks and I go back to my studio, of course, the first two songs sounds 100% like Miami. So that really I need that's why what I said before. I try to bring that world from out into my world.
Yeah.
I can't replace it, so that's why.
Yeah, I love that. So are you based in Germany?
Yes.
You're based there. So you're bringing all of your influences and experiences back to Germany.
Yeah. To the cold, boring Germany.
I bet you're like, yeah, these are like nice Miami vibes when you're in the cold. And just talking a little bit about, what's coming up and looking ahead. I know this is always a very hard question because nobody ever knows what's going to happen in 5 years, but what does success look like for you? And I don't mean in numbers, but I just mean like emotionally or spiritually or as a feeling. Where would you like to find yourself in 5 years' time?
I would say I tell stories with my music, and when the people still can understand and feel it, what I say in 5 years with my music, then for me this is success.
I love that. That makes total sense because at the end of the day, if that's what you're trying to achieve to tell a story and people can still
It's,
understand it, you know, I think
we do
some,
it for the people outside, so
yeah, I think so. It's so easy to get lost in numbers nowadays, you know, and especially with social media and making sure,
true,
how many reels or how many likes and how many. But at the end of the day, it's like the storytelling and connecting that story with people, right?
exactly.
What are you doing to finish the day?
Um, yeah, I need to rest. I had a super intense weekend in Monaco for the Formula One, so
Nice. What you were there, you were playing there?
yeah, I played there on some good parties, and yeah, let's see. I need to
No,
recover.
nice. Well, very well deserved recovery time.
Thank
Um,
you so much.
I'm super excited for what's to come for you, and thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us at Grey Area.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Okay.